Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Hey everybody, TrinfiniteX here. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be playing through Breath of the Wild today. For those who don't know about this game, where have you been for the past 3 years? Just kidding. If you haven't ever seen this game before, it's cool. But this playthrough isn't primarily intended for newcomers to the game. This is going to be a 100% run. Not a speed run, but I do aim to keep up an efficient and relatively fast pace while streaming. So, if you notice me dropping frames or talking to people in my chat, that's why. Obviously, this is going to be a massive project, so if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch in retrospect and you want to get in on the action and hang out with me during the stream, for the adventure, feel free to join me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TrinfiniteX. I typically stream in the evenings on different days around 7-ish Mountain Time. I'm still trying to narrow down exactly what days I want to stream on, so follow me on Twitter at twitter/TrinfiniteX or on Twitch to stay up to date on when I go live. And without further ado, let's get into the game.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
Alright. So how's everybody doing tonight? Excuse me. Good, I hope. So I'm not going to skip any story bits or anything for those who may want to see them or who are new. But like I said, this isn't intended for newcomers to the game. I'm just doing this because I wanted an excuse to come back to this game after having played it several times.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
I think this is a pretty fun game on the whole, and so I wanted to 100% it. I have already gotten about 50% of it complete on another file, but like I said, I want 100% it this time.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
Alright, so getting started right away. I'm not going to be shy about using some basic glitches, like the infinite run glitch, where you whistle and tap the run button to run without consuming stamina. Hold on. This game really does look awesome. It's always had a really breathtaking view. No puns intended. Like, this game actually is gorgeous. Some people have called it a masterpiece. I'm not sure I would go that far, but it is definitely a wonderful game that I look forward to playing. So buckle in. Like I said, I am going to be moving at a relatively fast pace. I am going to be trying to keep the action going, you know, so there's always some kind of progress or something being made on screen, so it's not a boring watch. My goal is to be somewhat entertaining while also having fun myself. Kind of work and pleasure at the same time, you know? So, starting off right away, I'm going to grab a Korok seed because it's basically right in my path. But I will not be collecting too many Korok seeds right away. I'll be getting back to those later. My first priority mainly is to get the paraglider so that we can get a move on relatively quickly. So, I am noticing that either my internet or my capture card is struggling to keep up. I'm not sure which it is and why, but I'm hoping it's not dropping too many frames.
Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Pardon me while I get some better pants before heading on to the tower. Equip those now. So there are lots of enemies in this game. We're obviously not going to take the time to fight them all. That would be a waste of time. They provide little to no benefit in fighting, so we're going to run past the vast majority of them, with a couple exceptions. And here we have what I consider to be one of the more awesome scenes in the game, quite frankly. Just all the towers coming out. It's just an awesome scene. You know, just watching as this giant network of advanced and ancient structures comes to life just because you awoke one of them. It's just a cool scene in my mind.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
And by hurry before it's too late, she really just means, you know, take your time. Because there's no actual time limit in this game. Unlike, say, Majora's Mask or other entries. So did anybody else notice how Ganon sort of had a disconnected jaw there? Kind of like a snake? More than a pig or a warthog? Again, I'm not going to be skipping any cutscenes or any story for those who haven't experienced this, and also because I want to go ahead and, you know, have that experience again. Because for me, it's been quite a while since I've played this. I did practice a bit. If you've been watching my streams, you'll see my practice attempts. But it has been quite a while since I've seriously played this game. So I just want to have fun and enjoy it. The beginning of this game is pretty slow, as I'm sure many of you know. But things will pick up pretty quick here in a minute. Oops. Again, I'm no speedrunner. I'm just aiming to be reasonably fast. Not going to be using any exploits or major glitches, but this minor one where we can run without consuming stamina, I consider to be just such an enormous quality of life improvement, and also so incredibly easy to perform that really it makes the entire experience better. Stamina is definitely one of the more serious enjoyment limiting factors in this game, in my opinion. It's one of the critiques I have for this game, is the stamina thing just really works against it a lot. I also think these shrines are pretty cool, but we're going to be skipping the whole door opening animation and the elevator ride and all that from here on out after this first one. So, first up, we have the Magnesis Shrine, where we get the rune that does precisely what you think it does. Alright, so just gonna go ahead and use Magnesis and quickly throw that out of the way. And fall in the water. Okay. I guess that's not so bad, but go ahead and pull this out, shove these blocks out of the way, and then shove this little guy into the water if possible. Uh-oh. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll fail to shove him into the water. Come on, come on. You can already tell it's been a while. Man, my practice went way better than this. There we go. Much better. Throwing these little guys into water too deep for them to stand in is instant death for them, for those who didn't know. Okay, so we're not going to bother with the chest up there because it just contains a really weak and relatively useless bow. We are, however, going to fail to open this door. There we go. Oh, hey there, new viewer. How's it going? Just starting up my my 100% playthrough of this game. Everything's good with me too. I'm no speedrunner, but I am going to try and keep up a relatively fast pace and an efficient pace that I hope will be entertaining. Yeah, it is a good game. So I remember the first time this scene came up, I actually seriously thought they were going to make me climb that tower again, and man, I still remember to this day the feeling of relief when I figured out you can just teleport up there. Yeah, are you joking? That was almost exactly what I said. Like, I remember feeling that way. Oh, tapping too fast. Okay. So, we're gonna warp up there. Not so much because we want to talk to the old man up there, but just because it's slightly faster than walking around. Alright, so let's just drop down from here. Who needs ladders? So, I have played this game several times, and I've only gotten to about 50% completion. So this will be my first time 100%ing it. I think, what was I caught off guard by the most? Yeah, the Guardians, for sure. Speaking of Guardians, we're just going to go ahead and avoid these guys right now because we don't have a shield to parry their laser with. This is Master Mode, so... Speaking of things that usually catch people off guard, that Lionel that's just beyond this shrine in that plane up ahead is definitely a thing that caught me off guard when I played this again on Master Mode. So how many times have you played this game through Van Nintendo? Go ahead and grab bomb right here. Yeah. That's one of the critiques I actually have for this game, is that a lot of the extras aren't terribly rewarding. Like, a lot of the side quests really only just get you, like, rupees and things that you don't really especially need if you know what you're doing. I mean, unless you're talking about the actual, like, shrine quests and stuff. I mean, then obviously there's a greater reward. Alright, so just making our way through the bomb shrine here. Now, let's see if we can get this. Ah, I got it. I got it, but it fell off. I was trying to be cool and blow it up without falling off, but oh well. Ah, just a second too late, too. Yeah. Sadly, I'm not epic. Ah, it doesn't actually send you all the way? Oh, well. Yeah. What am I using to stream? Well, I've got my Switch hooked up to Elgato HD 60S capture card, and it's feeding into my laptop, and that's what I'm streaming on. I've got a Blue Yeti mic in front of me, and that's just about it. I mean, in terms of equipment. Nothing too fancy. Fair enough. All right. So, real quick, I'm just gonna switch over to the soldier's broadsword, just in case we run into any fights. Going to grab this chest. So, there are lots of enemies in this game, but quite frankly, only a handful of them are really worth fighting, so we're just gonna avoid the vast majority of them in order to make progress and get a move on. Later on, we might fight some stronger enemies like Lionels and things. But for now, we're going to try to avoid fighting that. This guy is super dangerous. So, we're just gonna go around him. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, that was another thing. Like, this game has lots of, monsters and stuff in it, but they don't really force you to fight very often. Most of the time, you can just kind of ignore fights if you want. So that is precisely what we are going to do. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to take a relatively short path up to the stasis shrine. We're not going to need any special cooking. We're not going to need any endurance stuff. We're just gonna run right through. I mean, we'll go ahead and collect some of these, because why not? Yeah, Yeah, it's definitely a game that's relatively easy to get into. Leaving a lot of things up to the player is a double-edged sword, though, in my opinion. But this game executes it pretty well. So just a short climb up here, and then we will practically be right where we need to be. There we go. Ran out of stamina once, but that's okay. Not very long. I'm pretty new to this. If you had come in a little earlier, you would have seen me, trying to stream this game, and, having some failed attempts where I just wasn't quite prepared, for lack of a better way to say it. But I think oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So I am a variety streamer, so I'm not going to be streaming like only Breath of the Wild all the time. But like I said, I do intend to actually have this as a 100% playthrough. So I'm going to be streaming it often. It just won't be the only thing that I do. And yeah, actually, I have been working on like follow alerts and such. I do intend to implement those shortly. But like I said, I've only been at this for a little while, so I'm not quite fully there yet. But I already know exactly what I want to do. I just have to actually edit the video and put it together real quick in Streamlabs. Oh, too soon. Okay, so I am actually going to stop and get this shield real fast because it's basically free. And we're going to need it for a little bit of shield surfing. I have Discord. I do not have a Discord yet. Still working on that. I'm taking things nice and slow, one step at a time. You know, not trying to, go crazy. But, quite frankly, your presence and the presence of what few followers and viewers I do have does encourage me to move faster. But, I also have to balance this with, a real life job that I have, so I can't, like rush and get this all done tomorrow, I like how these first four monks, their hands make the Triforce. When I saw that, I was like, oh man. Yeah, if you look at the first monk, the Magnesis Shrine, he's got the top part of the pyramid, and then the bomb guy is another part, and then this guy has the middle piece, so his triangle's upside down, and then this other guy will have, I think, the rightmost one, or oh shoot, yeah, I don't remember if it's the bottom right or bottom left. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm healing up. Okay, so now we're gonna make a break for the summit to get the warm doublet from the old man. When I first played this, I reached the stasis shrine by like actually going to the old man's house down there, collecting a ton of the endurance shrooms and cooking them and making a spicy pepper dish to keep warm and everything. And it took a long time to scale the cliff to get up to the shrine. And I died a couple times on the way, but obviously I've had lots of experience since then, and now I'm not really quite so afraid to just kind of charge through this area. That's why I grabbed some health at the start, so I can just kind of run right on up here. And just in time. So now he's going to tell us about the scope on the Sheikah slate, because we didn't talk to him at the tower. Alright, and now to heal up as much as I can. And then we're going to try and safely descend the mountain. I died a couple times in my practice runs, so here we go, here we go. Perfect. Just descend safely a little bit, and then we can cover lots of ground real quick. Shield surfing. And then we'll go right up to the last EX chest up here. I do have all the DLC, and we'll be playing through all of it. All right. Sounds cool. I will consider that. For the moment, I am failing at climbing this wall, so just give me a second. So you're a streamer as well? How big a following you got? How long you been at it? I mean, since you asked me. Alright, so now we got Cryonis. There is a speedrunning trick to get through this, to get over this wall real fast with like a bomb to blow yourself over the wall, but yeah, I tried earlier. I'm not skilled enough to pull that off. Either that or it got patched, which I'm more than willing to believe. Then there's this guy. I have no real desire to fight you. I'm just gonna grab the spear. Wow, okay. So a lot bigger than myself, and you've been at it for a while. So that is kind of to be expected. So YouTube going downhill fast, yeah, that's what I've been hearing. But the truth is, if you want decent coverage, you gotta have, honestly, YouTube and Twitch nowadays. Like, streaming on Twitch is good, but you should also put your videos on YouTube, you know, so that they stick around and they don't just disappear when Twitch erases them. All right. So, once again, let's go ahead and leap down and just quickly slide down here. Whoop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Went a little too far, too fast there. Whoa. Here we go. So before we warp away, we're gonna go ahead and collect a little cache of items here under the waterfall over here. Should only take a second, and then we'll go ahead and run over to the temple. Yeah, I didn't know at first either, but I went around exploring one day and sure enough found it. You know, since it might even be useful, here, let me show you something else I found like literally 2 days ago. Like when I was just practicing for this. Real fast, it'll only take 2 seconds. And it's a relatively useful item at this point in the game. And yeah, and don't worry, I'm not like intimidated that you're a little bigger than me or anything. Yeah, 2 seconds in a loading screen, yeah. I mean, at this point, I've only been doing this for like, you know, a couple of months, so I expect everyone is bigger than me, you know, that's just to be expected. But anyway, right up here, behind the Statius Shrine, there is a little cliff right here, and if I don't get knocked down by rocks, right up on this cliff, there's another iron sledgehammer. Which, for this point in the game, that's actually kind of useful. I'm gonna say probably the tower would be the fastest way. I had no idea that was up there. This game is just, it's got lots of little goodies everywhere for people who are willing to explore. Alright, so let's get down this tower again and make our way over to the temple again. These guys generally can't hit the broadside of a barn unless we're in water. That's bad. Okay. Not too worried about arrows or anything. We'll get plenty of that later. There's all too many ways to get free arrows. Yeah, they did a reasonably good job with it. There were some... It's good music, but I do feel that in certain places they lacked diversity. Not around this part of the game. Like, just the simple piano theme works great for this opening area. Not to mention the Temple of Time track is pretty good. It's honestly a shame that this theme right here is only used right here. Stamina. Of course. Who in their right mind would ask for a heart? Yeah. Yeah. The one note on the piano repeated. So, another one of my critiques of this game is definitely the stamina bar. I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. The stamina meter is definitely just a hindrance. That's really all it is. Like, it doesn't really improve the game at all. In my opinion, it really just gets in the way of enjoyment. I really wish they had learned their lesson from Skyward Sword and just taken it out. But if you know how to deal with it, it's not that bad.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened. 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age-long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the Divine Beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, gravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
And thus ends what I'm pretty sure is the longest cutscene in the game. By a pretty good amount. Okay. And I love how Link takes the surprise stance when he disappears like that again, even though he's already seen it a couple times. So, yeah, like, I remember when I first started playing this game, I remember feeling like, you know, that's as far as Link can run before he gets tired. Like, I know he just got out of 100 years sleep, but, like, I'm pretty sure I can run further than that. Like, 3 or 4 times that distance before I get tired. So, I think the problem with the stamina wheel is it's just too small, especially at the start. Like, if they literally took the stamina wheel and doubled it just from the very beginning, I think that would maybe fix some of the problems. I mean, to be fair, Link can climb, like, really, really well. Like, you'd be shocked. Like, he runs out of stamina so fast when he's running, but man, he can climb like crazy. Surfaces and things that he shouldn't be able to climb. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to dive in here to get a few arrows that are basically free. Yeah, if only had some beefy legs to go with it. Ah, Traveler's Bow. I forgot what was in that chest, honestly. Just breaking pots. No need to fight him. Alright. So, I'm gonna warp over to the Magnesis Shrine again. We're gonna be grabbing a few things real quick before we end for the night. Because as cool as that cutscene was, you know, how am I supposed to end this episode without, you know, some kind of climactic fight, you know, some kind of epic boss battle? That wouldn't be right. So, first of all, we're gonna jump off here and immediately head in this direction. So, I said this was going to be a 100% playthrough, but you may have noticed I didn't go back to get like any of the Korok seeds or anything. That's because I'm going to go back and get them later, kind of all at once, rather than hunting them down right now. The only reason I got that one was because it was basically right in my path, the one at the top of the temple. And also this one is right here in my path, so I'll go ahead and get that, since it's right here. But I'll be doing Korok seed gathering runs here and there later. For now, our objective is on that little island over there. Stasis won't help me right now. However, here we go. That's what I need to do. And while we're at it, let's just get a better bow and not bomb arrows equipped. Alright. So, let's go ahead and save first. Let's be smart about this. So, this particular stone talus is a gold stone talus, so he will give us a pretty sizable amount of money if we should manage to succeed in taking him down. And there we go. So really the primary purpose for doing this is really just to get some good early game money. Lots of topazes and sapphires. Excellent, excellent. Defeating this guy every blood moon is a great way to get some fast money, because he's not terribly tough. I mean, he's dying to an iron sledgehammer. And so with that, we shall don Majora's Mask. And I think that's going to be it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am planning to stream tomorrow in all likelihood. I do like to give my viewers a vote on what they would like to see. So, sometime around 7 tomorrow, I should be on again. And if you would like to see more Breath of the Wild, by all means, just hop in and we'll do that. And we'll see you all then. Good night.